You work, you try, you consume every book and video you can find. Yet somehow, you keep waking up feeling like you're still exactly average, like your real potential is locked behind a door you can't find. What if the thing keeping you average isn't your effort, your talent, or your circumstances, but one single invisible mental trap running silently in the background? In this video, I'll share 6 psychology-backed ways this invisible trap works against you, and the precise steps to break free from each one, starting right now. I first noticed this pattern when I realized I was doing everything society told me to do, working hard, setting goals, staying disciplined, yet something invisible kept pulling me back to the same level year after year. Psychologists call it the mediocrity loop. And research shows it's not a character flaw. It's a deeply wired mental system that actively resists upward change. The problem is, most people never even realize the trap exists. They spend decades fighting the symptoms: laziness, procrastination, low confidence, without ever addressing the actual cause. By the end of this video, you'll be able to see the trap clearly and dismantle it piece by piece. Let's dive in. Let's start with the foundation of the entire trap, because once you understand this, everything else will click. Most people believe they're held back by external limits: not enough money, not enough time, not enough connections. But here's what the research actually shows. You're not bumping into an external wall. You're bumping into an internal one. Psychologist Ellen Langer at Harvard University ran a landmark study showing that people consistently underperform, not because of their actual ability, but because of their perceived ceiling. The invisible upper limit they unconsciously believe applies to them. Your brain isn't measuring what you're actually capable of. It's measuring what it believes you're capable of and enforcing it automatically. Think of it like a thermostat. You can push the temperature up manually, but the moment you let go, the system snaps it right back to the setting it was programmed to hold. So how do you raise the thermostat? First, identify where your ceiling is right now. Ask yourself, at what point do I usually stop pushing? Notice the exact moment you back off. That's where your invisible ceiling sits. Second, take one deliberate action above that line each day. Not a massive leap. Just one small action that sits just above what feels comfortable. Studies show that repeated small violations of your own ceiling are the most effective way to raise it permanently. Third, track the ceiling moving. Keep a simple log of moments where you pushed past your previous limit. Seeing evidence that your ceiling has already moved makes your brain recalibrate upward. Your potential isn't fixed. Your thermostat is. And thermostats can be reprogrammed. But the ceiling is just one layer of the trap. Now let's talk about the hidden force that keeps the ceiling locked in place. Now, here's where it gets really interesting and a little uncomfortable. Your brain doesn't just tolerate the familiar, it's actually addicted to it. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz at Cambridge found that familiar behaviors triggered dopamine release in the brain, the same chemical responsible for pleasure and reward. In other words, your brain has been chemically rewarding you for staying the same. Every time you choose the comfortable, known option over the challenging, unfamiliar one, your brain gives you a tiny hit of feel-good chemicals. You're not weak, you're addicted to your own average. Now, you might be thinking, so how am I supposed to fight brain chemistry? And that's exactly the right question. First, stop trying to overpower the addiction and start redirecting it. Attach the dopamine hit to the new behavior instead of the familiar one. Celebrate immediately after doing the unfamiliar thing. Even something as small as a fist pump or saying yes out loud. This starts rewiring the chemical reward toward the new behavior. Second, shrink the unfamiliar action until it barely feels different from the familiar one. If scrolling your phone feels easy and starting a project feels hard, start the project for literally 60 seconds before picking up your phone. The brain barely registers the threat, releases less resistance, and slowly starts associating the new behavior as familiar. Third, repeat the new action in the same location and time as your old habit. Context cues are powerful familiarity signals. Same chair, same time, new action, and your brain starts treating the new action as normal. Your brain is not your enemy. It's just been programmed wrong, and you hold the programmer's key. But even if you redirect familiarity, there's still a deeper trap waiting, one that's even more invisible. This brings me to the most sneaky layer of the entire system. Most people don't know this, but the single most powerful predictor of your long-term success isn't your discipline, your intelligence, or your work ethic. It's who you spend your time around. Social psychologist Nicholas Christakis at Yale published a decade-long study following thousands of people and found that behaviors, attitudes, and even income levels spread through social networks like a virus, up to 3 degrees of separation. The people around you are quietly infecting your standard of what's normal. If your 5 closest people accept average, your brain silently recalibrates average as its baseline and starts defending it. Think of it like a mirror. The people around you are constantly reflecting a version of you back at you, and your brain, a deeply social organ, uses that reflection to set your own expectations. So here's what to do. First, audit your 5 closest relationships honestly. Ask for each person, does spending time with this person raise or lower my internal standard? You don't have to eliminate anyone, just become conscious of the effect. Second, deliberately increase your exposure to people operating at the level you want to reach. You don't need to become best friends with them. Podcasts, interviews, books, and online communities count. Your brain cannot distinguish between digital and physical social influence. It updates your normal regardless. Third, protect your standard fiercely. Every time you catch yourself saying, "This is just how things are," or "Everyone I know is like this," that's your average mirror talking. Challenge it immediately. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your social environment. Change the environment, change the outcome. This brings me to the next secret, one that directly attacks your ability to even try in the first place. This next one is crucial, because this is the trap that masquerades as wisdom. The safety story is the internal narrative your brain tells you to justify not trying. It's not the right time. I need to learn more first. What if I fail and people judge me? These sound like reasonable, mature thoughts, but they are the most dangerous thoughts in the entire trap, because they feel responsible while doing maximum damage. Researcher Brené Brown at the University of Houston found that the single greatest barrier to a meaningful life isn't failure. It's the armor people build to avoid failure. The safety story is the armor, and the heavier it gets, the harder it becomes to move. Here's how to dismantle it. First, name the story. Write it down exactly. The reason I'm not doing this is because when you see it written on paper, the brain loses some of its power to present it as truth. It becomes just a story. Second, apply the cost of inaction question. Instead of asking, "What if I try and fail?" ask, "What does my life look like in 5 years if I keep not trying?" Research consistently shows humans underestimate the cost of inaction and overestimate the cost of failure. Third, take the smallest visible action you've been avoiding, not the whole project, not the full commitment. One email, one conversation, one application. The story loses its grip the moment you move. The safety story will always sound smarter than courage. Don't be fooled. But that's not all, because even people who break through the safety story often hit the next invisible wall immediately. Now, here's something that might sting a little, but it's one of the most important things in this video. Most people who feel like they're working hard are actually working busy. There is a massive difference. Researcher Cal Newport at Georgetown calls this the busyness trap, the tendency to fill time with shallow, visible activity because it feels productive without carrying the deep discomfort of real, meaningful work. Your brain actually prefers busy to deep because shallow work is familiar, socially validatable, and cognitively comfortable. The result is what psychologists call effort illusion, the deeply mistaken belief that motion equals progress. You can spend an entire year feeling like you're working hard while barely moving the needle on anything that actually matters. So here's how to break it. First, identify your one highest leverage task each day, not your to-do list. Just one thing that, if completed, would make the biggest real difference. Protect that task above everything else. Second, schedule it in a distraction-free block of at least 90 minutes. Research from Florida State University found that 90 minutes is the optimal deep work cycle aligned with your brain's natural ultradian rhythm. After 90 minutes, take a real break. Third, measure output, not hours. Stop tracking how long you worked. Start tracking what you actually produced. This one shift changes everything about how your brain approaches work. Stop being impressively busy. Start being quietly productive. There's one final layer of the trap, and it may be the most powerful one of all. This last one is going to land differently, because it's the deepest root of the entire trap. The identity lock is the subconscious label you have accepted as true about yourself. Not the goals you want, not the person you aspire to be, the person you actually, secretly believe you are. Right now, at the core, behavioral psychologist Robert C. Cialdini found in his research on commitment and consistency that humans will go to extraordinary length, including self-sabotage, to remain consistent with how they see themselves. If your deep identity says, "I'm the kind of person who struggles," then every time you start to succeed, your brain will find a way to pull you back into the story. Success feels like a threat to identity, so the brain neutralizes it. Think of it like this. You can't outperform your own self-concept for long. The identity always wins. Here's how to unlock the identity. First, write a new identity statement in the present tense, as if it's already true. Not "I want to be successful," but "I am someone who creates real results." Not "I'm trying to be disciplined," but "I am someone who follows through." Your brain updates identity through language, especially repeated language. Second, find evidence that the new identity is already true. Look for moments, even small ones, where you already behaved like the new identity. Your brain needs proof, not just aspiration. Feed it real proof. Third, make one decision today as the new person, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Today. Ask yourself, what would the person I'm becoming do right now? And do that. One thing. The trap doesn't lose power all at once. It loses it one identity decision at a time. Let's quickly review what we covered today, because your brain needs repetition to make this permanent. Number 1, the invisible ceiling, your perceived limit, not your real one. Number 2, the familiarity addiction. Your brain is chemically rewarding your average. Number 3, the average mirror. Your environment is quietly setting your standard. Number 4, the safety story. Reasonable sounding excuses that do maximum damage. Number 5, the effort illusion. Busyness is not progress. Motion is not movement. Number 6, the identity lock. You can't outperform your own self-concept. Remember, you were never average. You were just running average software. And today, you started the update. The only difference between the person you are and the person you're capable of becoming is which mental program you choose to run, starting right now. Don't wait until another year of average slips past you. Start today with just one step. Name your invisible ceiling, redirect your familiarity, reward, or write one new identity statement before you go to sleep tonight. I promise you, 60 days from now, you won't recognize the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. If this video shifted something in you, hit that like button right now. It helps more people break free from this trap. Subscribe for more science-backed psychology videos every single week. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 6 traps hit you the hardest. I read every single one, and if you want to go even deeper, watch this video next on how to build unbreakable self-discipline. It's the perfect follow-up to everything we just covered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.